would keep me waiting, I would wait a lifetime. In tricky situations, I will be a lifeline. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for you time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. 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 Baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. Ocean in between us, still I feel your heartbeat. There's something about you, baby, that makes me feel complete. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for you time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. The world is going wild when they call for you, and the river's running dry when it all falls through. Don't you worry about a thing, baby, I got you. Yeah, baby, I got you.
Hello, my royal diamonds. Thank you so much for tuning into the Duchess of Success podcast. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment on the video to help the algorithm find us. It is my pleasure to bring you all of the royal tea, honey. And if you would like to donate to the channel, please check out the links in the description box. All of your donations help to keep the channel running. Thank you for your support, and remember, you don't need a crown to be royal. We are all queens. Hello everyone, happy Saturday, welcome to the podcast. Hope everyone is doing well, enjoying the weekend. Hello Caroline, good morning to you. Well, it's good evening over here, it's almost going to midnight. Hey Patty J, hey Lorna, hey Shirley, hey Black Queen dancing away, hey Novi D, Sherry Ware, hi. Trisha Nixon, hi. Hey Mina. Hey Janice. Hey Marvin. Thank you so much, the Mod Squad, as always. Couldn't do it without y'all. Okay, let's get into it, shall we? Bit of a different podcast today. I'm going to be doing a short series over the next couple of podcasts called Damning Questions the British Monarchy Don't Want You to Ask. And today is going to be part one of that series because there's a lot of questions that need to be. I mean, today I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like probably 10 or 12. Plus a little bit of extra news that's come in as well. But seeing as there wasn't really like a whole bunch of new news, I thought we would revisit some old things, especially because there's so many of you coming into the squad who haven't really been here from the beginning. Maybe you're just discovering us, maybe you don't really know what's been going on, and you're trying to piece different parts of the puzzle together. So I think this will be good for you as well. And for those of you who have been in the squad for a while, I guess to get a little bit of a refresh because so much happens on these royal streets and we can just forget sometimes. Okay, let's get to it. First and foremost, yeah, over in Bucklesbury, or is it Bucklebury, where the Middletons live, someone was putting posters up around the town, and I wondered like where the actual picture of the poster was. And finally, we have a visual. We have a visual, folks. Here is the poster in question. Now, for some reason, some of it is redacted. So I don't know why. Maybe it was their names or personal details, or I don't know. But it says, Justice for creditors. Bucklebury Party Pieces Holdings Limited owes creditors 2.5 million, including over 800,000 to HMRC. That is the that's the tax man here in the UK. In the US, it's the IRS. Here it's HMRC. And government loan. Yes, folks, that's taxpayer money. Petition the insolvency service. The future king's in-laws screwing its creditors. Shameful. Cough up. So that was a poster that was put up all over their village, and apparently James Middleton was seen ripping the posters down. And I think they have every right to ask what's going on, where's our money? Apparently there were small businesses within the village that had entrusted the Middletons and are still owed money also. Oh dear, rather embarrassing. Definitely not anything that they would want bought close to home. And it has been noted, it is rather interesting that neither William or Pippa's husband seem to be wanting to chip in and make this problem go away, because they could if they wanted to. 2.5 million to people that are meant to be multimillionaires and billionaires is a small splash in the ocean. So why haven't they? Is Uncle Gary's businesses not doing too well? There's a lot of questions to ask about the Middletons and their money and exactly what is going on. But beyond, the royal gossip, we do have small businesses that have been left in the dark and they are owed their money. So I wonder if this is going to go any further. Could we see a class action lawsuit? Who knows? Hi everyone, if you're just joining us, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Yes, Roseanne, seems to be ramping up. I wonder who they upset. You gotta ask, because up until now, they have been so protected. So protected. Yes, Lauren Hamburg, very sketch. You know what's also very sketch? That we never got an update on that weed farm that was found near their estate. There was a few very quiet headlines about it some time ago, and no updates about it since. Hi Lydia, hello to you too. All right, so that is that. Right, let's get on to questions that the British monarchy does not want you to ask. Our first question actually relates to something that was written about quite recently. Over on mainland Europe, where the other European royals seem to actually act like family and friends, one of the future futures was having their birthday party. And here they are all posing. And the Windsors weren't there. And this is the second time the other European royals have had kind of like family friend get together and the Windsors haven't gone. And it just seems like either they're not interested in going or they're just not invited. So why is it, first question, why is it that they don't seem to have much of a close relationship with the other royals or any type of real friendship beyond diplomatic meetings with the other royals? Because mind you, Kate had a solo trip to Denmark. They do trips all the time. But when it comes to anything that's more like family orientated, it's like the Windsors, they're just not there. Whereas with the other royals, they go on holidays together, um, and they actually do the actual different families go on holidays together. They have actual social time together beyond just royal appointment, and they seem to behave more like actual families. And they're a lot more down to earth. A lot of them do have regular jobs beyond just being, royals, and a lot of them do have their own wealth beyond just being royals, and they don't cost as much. So Richard Eden, or Maureen, who's always a stirrer, wrote a very interesting article in the Daily Fail, stating that William and Kate should be friendlier with the other European royals. So this is from Kaiser. She says the official Danish royal family Instagram account posted this incredible portrait of Prince Christian's 18th birthday gala. Okay, so that must be the young boy in the middle there. Of his 18th birthday gala last weekend. The portrait is of the future king and queens of Europe. From left to right, Sweden's Princess Estelle, Norway's Princess Ingrid, Denmark's Prince Christian, and the Netherlands' Princess Katharina Amelia, and Belgium's Princess Elizabeth. It feels even now like an absolutely iconic photo and historic moment for Europe's royal houses. So, of course, the British media is obsessed with figuring out why Prince William and Kate weren't invited or refused to go to the party. Earlier this week, there was some huffing and puffing about how British princes and princesses are simply too focused on the UK to dilly-dally with Europe's royals. Except that kind of blows up William's I want to be a global statesman shtick, right? Or interestingly enough, Richard Eden is almost criticizing William and Kate for not going to Christian's gala, saying in the Daily Mail, there was a time when the British royals thought it wise to keep their distance from the vast extended family of European cousins, with Victoria's eldest grandchild, the Kaiser, declaring war on Great Britain and revolution ripping through the early 20th century. The unfortunately named Saxe Coburg Gothers had something of a point, but that moment has long passed, says Richard Eden, and the latest gathering of European royals for the 18th birthday of Denmark's prince makes today's winter seem very standoffish. The young people who will succeed to the throne in 5 different countries pose for a unique portrait at Christiansborg Palace in Copenhagen. By the way, if you ever have the pleasure of going to Copenhagen, definitely visit Christiansborg Palace. It's very beautiful and it is actually open to the public. It was a vision of the future of Europe's monarchy. Yet, as that photograph makes clear, no one was there from the British royal family. I mean, it's almost as if they are setting them. No, it's not almost as if the British monarchy are setting themselves up for failure. Because Richard Eden is right in the sense that this picture is basically what the future European royals look like, or for as long as those royal houses last and are allowed to exist. And there's not a single British royal here. Ideally, George should be there. So he goes on to say, okay, he goes into a bit of a history lesson, and then he says, so the Windsors have largely kept themselves apart from the royal families of Europe. They invite them to the big state occasions such as weddings and funerals, but it tends to be Prince Edward, for example, who would be sent to foreign celebrations rather than Charles or William. Last weekend, we saw a fascinating example of that when European royals gathered, the future King of Denmark, the Windsors were absent. It is time to think of the future, says Eden, and Prince George, aged 10, would have looked cute posing next to 11-year-old Estelle Sweden. And then Kaiser goes on to say, from the British palace perspective, I can actually understand why they wouldn't want a photo of Prince George standing with the other future queens and the other future king. It would make George seem less special in a way. British exceptionalism kind of demands that the British royals are seen as above the other royal houses. That being said, this was genuinely a missed opportunity for William and Kate to show up and be diplomatic, which is perhaps why they skipped out. They are deeply and profoundly incapable. That still doesn't answer the question of why no one in the Windsor clan went, though. Like, why didn't Sophie and Edward go, or even the York princesses? You know what I think? I just think they weren't invited. I honestly just think they weren't invited. And I think the reason they weren't invited was because they've probably been invited to things like this before and they didn't go. And I just think that the others don't like them. Quite frankly, what's there to like? Because if you were going to invite anyone, wouldn't you want to invite Harry and Meghan? All right, let's go to comments before we go to my other questions. Sherry, where the unroyals and the UK media are going to devour themselves. Yeah. I mean, that's what we've been predicting on this podcast for a while. Because they haven't got Harry and Meghan to devour anymore. So they have to devour something. So they're going to go for each other. Marvin, you said, to me, the Windsors see themselves as above the other royals in Europe, so the Europeans are getting the last laugh. Thanks to Sussex's, haha, yeah. And, you know, they've all been watching what's been going on. They've seen the Oprah interview, they've seen the Netflix documentary, they've read Despair. Right. On to our other questions that I have. Question number 1. Why was Harry not given security, but Andrew was? Why was Harry, who has done 2 tours of Afghanistan, and when there is ample evidence that his safety is at risk, and his wife's safety is at risk, and his children's safety is at risk, why was security pulled, and why was their location revealed? And because that's 2 things right there. You pull their security and then reveal their location. You're not going to tell me that there was not a direct attempt to put Harry and Meghan and their children in harm's way. Because why would you do that? And who exactly was it that made the call to do that? Second question. Why are the royals still operating on this old template? These were the scenes from Camilla and Charles's first full state visit in France. A whole parade going through the streets, costing the British taxpayer money, costing the French taxpayer money. I just think that these grand parades are just no longer needed. If you have to be there, you know, whether for whatever state visit or like, you know, they have to do all their diplomacy and stuff like that, you can do it. I don't see why we need all of this. And even if you are going to do it, it should be with a purpose. It needs to be purposeful meetings of the people that basically control our lives and create the laws and set the tone for what goes on in the world. Because if I have to ask, what was the point of this meeting? I don't have an answer. Does anybody have an answer? Does anybody from France have an answer? What was the point of this? Other than spending a hell of a lot of taxpayer money, especially from the French side. Boy. And shame on the president of France. Exactly. And, you know, considering the history of France and the history of the royals in France, why? What was this for? You can't just tell me, oh, you know, they have to do it because it's state visit and the president has to do this and they have to do that. They have to do it. Why? What does this do for me? And what did this trip do for the people of France? They just want to play, dress up and make themselves feel powerful. And what do we get for it? Absolutely nothing. Adrian, you said the royal family and their tactics are so outdated. They're just repeating the 70s, 80s, and 90s exactly. That's question number one. Oh, sorry, question number two. Question number three. Why is there so much focus on Harry and Meghan's marriage when everybody can see with their own eyes what's going on with the other royal marriage? If the British press are not allowed to comment on the Wellses marriage, then they should just stay quiet about Harry and Meghan's. Because the more they go after Harry and Meghan and try to make it look like it's Harry and Meghan getting a divorce, it's Harry and Meghan separating, the more you can just tell that they are trying to deflect. And you can see from these pictures which marriage is solid and which marriage is not. And in fact, it was around the time that rumors started swirling about, people running through rose bushes when the attacks against Harry and Meghan, especially against Meghan, were amped up. There was that article, I think there were two articles, one by Wooten and one by Richard Eden. And it was actually Richard Eden who was responsible at one point for getting hashtag Prince William affair trending. That was him. Do we all remember that not too long ago? When he got into it with the Scottish reporter and then all of a sudden it just started trending. And next question. Why does Rupert Murdoch and Jonathan Rothermere have so much control over the royals and the press and politicians? I think this cartoon illustrates it perfectly. You have Charles looking at Murdoch and saying, I look down on him, but I need his newspapers to prop up the institution of the monarchy. And then Rupert Murdoch looking at him saying, I look up to him because the monarchy popularizes the subjugation of the working class by a few wealthy individuals like me. And then you have the poor peasant standing there right at the bottom saying, I think Meghan brainwashed Harry. And this right here is a perfect illustration of what has gone on the last 6 years. A rich king with his stolen jewels, a rich media mogul with all the power to control people's minds, and the poorest of the people just believing everything that they read in the tabloids, even though it does not serve them at all. At all. Next question. Why is the British media focusing all their attention on Harry and Meghan, who they claim are irrelevant, instead of the other royals? Well, I guess the answer to this question is just obvious: money. The other royals just don't bring in the clicks and the attention. And we saw that on World Mental Health Day. You had Harry and Meghan had their event, the other royals had their event. In fact, the other royals had their event first because of the time zone. But who did they give the most coverage to? To Archibald's event. And even if you look at the coverage between Invictus Games and the Earthshot Prize, who got more coverage? Around the world, mind you. Get your comments. Hi, Maria. How are you? Hope you're enjoying your Saturday. I wonder, you said the point of the parade, in my opinion, to bring the UK back into the fold of the EU, help pay the bill. I mean, they could just have another referendum. They have to have a whole parade. That's a good point. Maybe they're trying to get back into the good graces. Marvin, you said Chucky was drawn into the fight by William against the Sussexes, and now he's regretting the decision. Chucky's mind is bad, yes, he would have done things his way. Now he and Willie is at war. Yeah, I think there's still infighting. Adrian, you said Charles is looking for some country to accept his marriage to Camilla. Well, definitely not France. I mean, and that's another thing. Of all the countries they could have gone to, they went to the country where Diana passed away. Like, do they when they're sitting down with the royal courtiers, do they really even consider the way certain optics look, or do they just not care? Because if I was on that royal courtier team, I would tell them not to go to France. Don't make that the first place you go. I'm actually surprised that we didn't get a picture of them going through the tunnel. Just completely classless people. And Camilla was, well, actually, I don't know if she wore it at while she was in France, but they had also gone to Germany, and Camilla was wearing a dress by one of Diana's most beloved designers. Just shameless. Yes, Rosa, the best decision Harry ever made was to remove Meghan from the UK. I mean, it goes without saying. And himself. I feel like Harry would have probably done it himself in one way or another, eventually. But I think with Meghan and the fact that she was already so independent and she had an incredible network outside of the UK, I think it just gave him more strength. But I think it was already there. His mind was already in, half out phase. It was just Meghan that gave him the confidence. Carol, that's why I don't read the tabloids at all. Yeah, there's nothing really to be gained. All right. Next question. Why was Meghan painted as a gold digger when she had her own gold? Our good sis had her own gold. So why would she be digging for somebody else's gold who they themselves stole that gold and jewels, mind you? Sis even paid for her own wedding dress that was estimated to cost over $260,000. If you have $260,000 to casually splash on a wedding gown, you must have money. We know that Meghan, obviously, money from her acting, money from her blog and her influencer stuff, money from collaborations, and probably other stuff that we don't know about. Investing, probably. So, why was this woman who had her own life, who'd been working, even actually when she was working, or trying to get work as an actress, she was also a calligrapher. She used to do calligraphy. Meanwhile, Kate only ever had one job, and it was only for about 3 months. She worked at Jigsaw in their head office, and the word has always been that there were a lot of days where William would just call her and she would leave. So it's like I think they project a lot of mistruths onto Meghan to distract from the other one. Rhonda, you said agree. She gave him the confidence and provided the support system. Yeah. Lydia, you said, think anybody buys newspapers anymore except old people who can't access the internet. Well, some people still, maybe on the morning commute, they'll, grab a paper. If you take like the London Underground, there's two free papers. There's a Metro in the morning, and then there's the Evening Standard in the evening, and they're put on all of the trains. So you don't even have to buy the paper. There's free papers that they give out that have the same propaganda. Yeah, Boney. Meghan bought her wedding dress, reception dress, and engagement dress, and she could have, if she wanted to, have asked to be given the dress for free. Or even though I mean, I don't know how if that would have looked good, but I'm sure there's a lot of designers that would have given her that dress for free. Yeah, Wendy, Meghan was a whole millionaire, a whole millionaire. And I've always been suspicious that one of the reasons they didn't want to fund Harry and Meghan was because they just wanted her to deplete her own funds, because then they would have really been reliable. I'm sorry, sorry. Then they would have really have had to rely on the institution. All right, next question. Why was the media campaign allowed to get so bad to the point where Meghan was wanting to unalive herself? It got even worse during her pregnancy, and despite the fact that there are now people in jail for the level of vitriol and risk levied against the Sussexes, it still continues. This screenshot of this Talk TV YouTube channel is from 2 days ago. Not from 4 years ago, not from 5 years ago, from 2 days ago. She hates the royal family and Great Britain. These people deserve every bit of karma that's going to come to them. Because how do you just sit there and you're allowed to make a video like this, which is not only a blatant lie, but is literally designed to radicalize people? That's what this is for. Mm-mm. Cookies and Creamy said the unroyal family needs to give Meghan back her wedding dress. She paid for it. That family shouldn't have her dress to showcase and benefit. That is so true. And I wonder why um, she doesn't have it. I don't know. I mean, my guess is maybe it might be considered property of the royal collection, even though she paid for it. I don't know. Andrew, they didn't screen Kate because she was picked for William. That's not actually entirely true. Um, it's well known that Kate pursued William to the point of even change. She changed universities, even though she was granted access to one of the top universities. She still changed universities. She even uh changed something on her gap year, so she would be in the same place when William was on her gap year. And then it's always been rumored that William actually wanted um was it Jessica Craig? That's who he wanted to propose to, and then she said no. And then I think he'd actually broken up with her, and then he got back with Kate. And then when he proposed to Kate, he proposed to her at Jessica Craig's family luxury hotel that they have in Kenya. So to me, it just seemed like the one who chased him the most and the others didn't want him, that's who William went for. So I don't think Kate was picked for William. I think she's just the one that hustled hardest for that ring. And at one point, it was said that the Queen wasn't sure about Kate because she didn't like the fact that she hadn't worked. But they had dated for so long that it didn't look good that the future king was dilly dallying. So I think they just gave him an ultimatum: you either find someone or you got to marry this girl. And all of those aristo girls in those circles, they knew better. They knew better than to want to marry the future king, because the Windsor family is hell. Yes, Lottie, Meghan even bought stuff for Harry without here being a whole sugar mama doing the struggle up with with a British prince. Oh, oh dear. It all worked out in the end. It's fine. Yeah, Meghan doesn't have a wedding dress. It's on display. Okay, next question. Jason Noff. This rat. Why was he given permission to give emails and text messages to the Daily Mail during a court case in an attempt to derail Meghan's court case with the Daily Mail? So this was the copyright court case when they published her father's letter. And mind you, said evidence that Jason Noff tried to put forward to derail the case did absolutely nothing. It did absolutely nothing to get Meghan to lose the case. What it did do is it revealed something very sinister about the relationship between Noff and William and Jason's position, because this is someone who was communication secretary for Harry and Meghan at one point. So why would he do that? Why would he try to derail Meghan's court case? And who gave him permission to put forward those texts and emails? It could have only been William. And even the royal reporter said this. There's an interview where I think it's Dickie Arbiter, Dickie Arbiter or Rob Jobson, one of the two. There's an interview where they literally say this themselves. So it's not just me. Even people on the royal beat know what went on. Lee said, I would have asked for that dress back as soon as they asked for Frogmore Cottage back. Antoinette, and be real, no one wanted William except Kate. Yeah, no, I agree with that. No one wants him. All those other Aristo girls, no one. Pam, you said, I believe that the dress becomes part of the royal collection. I think it's now a historical item to be preserved for future generations. I agree she should be compensated. Yeah. I think she should be compensated in some way for it. All right. Next question I have. Randy Andy. They're not even putting him in the background or just shoving him in a closet somewhere and feeding him some chicken wings. They are putting him front and center. And why is it that he's still being given the privileges that he's being given? Why is it that he says he never did anything illegal and yet we had a £12 million payout? Boney, you said Jason North's number was the one Thomas Markle got. Yeah, they were in correspondence. But with Andrew, it's like they are going out of their way to say he's in the fold. And my question is, if he's going to be in the fold, why not just keep him in the background? Why put him so front and center, even at the Queen's funeral? You said Jason claimed Meghan's team asked him to do so, and Meghan's lawyers came out saying it's a lie. Jason then backtracked, and Meghan's lawyers wanted him to repeat the same nonsense under oath. Yeah, he tried to make it look like it was that it was requested, and it clearly wasn't. Why would Meghan's lawyers ask him to do that? Especially when in the end it did absolutely nothing. Wendy, you said Jason was a tool for William to get leaks and have the court case fail. Thank God, failure on all levels. Yes. Not only did it fail, it exposed them. Resistors, you said Andrew is being protected to keep him from spilling royal secrets. I think so as well. Because he knows where the bones are buried, right? Kathy, you said little girls will look at that dress and know that Meghan was the strong, caring, smart, loving woman that got away with her prince. Yes. I hope that because I haven't gone to see the dress myself. I hope that they actually have it written on the plaque that Duchess Meghan paid for her dress. They should have that written. That should be in the history books as well. Jeez. I wonder why it cost that much though. I mean, I know it's a designer gown, they probably had several fittings, but I never understand like why these dresses cost so much. I mean, it was a beautiful dress, don't get me wrong, but the cut was so simple. If you give that fabric to a grandma, she can make that. I don't know. Is there anyone in the wedding industry that can tell me why it would have cost? Oh, that's almost £250,000. Just wow. Anyway, she looked stunning, and the whole world was watching. So yeah, I guess you'd throw all the money at it, right? Yeah. So those. Oh yeah, and the last question that I have for today's damning questions the British monarchy don't want you to ask. Where are the jewels? Where are the missing jewels? £18 million worth missing. Who took the jewels? That's the question William is asking when he's looking at Catherine right here. I mean, that is a lot to go missing. Whoever took those jewels, let me just say, you have audacity. You have audacity to take them jewels. Because, I mean, granted, the jewels were stolen in the first place. But wherever those jewels are, eventually it's going to come out who took them and where they are. All right. That's all I had to say for today. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe button on your way out if you haven't already. Appreciate you all so much. And with your comments. Yes, Hope Gardens. Andrew's a sick old man. Truly a sick old man. Yeah, Matthews, I think that William is jealous of Harry, his life, and his beautiful wife, but it never had to be like this. You know? The four of them, William and Kate, Harry and Meghan, could have really been a team. And I think that's what Harry would have wanted and Meghan would have wanted, but they just let their jealousy get in the way of common sense. Oh dear. Raven, who paid for Kate's dress? I believe her family paid for it. Yeah, Shirley, there was a lot of detail, especially on the veil. The veil was very detailed and handmade and had all the flowers from the Commonwealth. That was a very nice touch. All right. I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you as always, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.
If you would keep me waiting, I would wait a lifetime. In tricky situations, I will be a lifeline. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for your time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the moves, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the moves, yeah, baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. happy. There's something about you, baby, that makes me feel complete. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, I know. Coming back for your time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route, yeah, baby, I got you. 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 Baby, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. And the world is going wild when they call for you. And the river's running dry when it all falls through. Don't you worry about a thing, baby, I got you. Yeah, baby, I got you.
Hello, my royal diamonds. Thank you so much for tuning into the Duchess of Success podcast. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and comment on the video to help the algorithm find us. It is my pleasure to bring you all of the royal tea, honey. And if you would like to donate to the channel, please check out the links in the description box. All of your donations help to keep the channel running. Thank you for your support, and remember, you don't need a crown to be royal. We are all queens.